Hi guys, I'm Mr. Ray. Today we're going to be talking about peptide bond formation. So in order to understand peptide bond formation, first you kind of have to understand how proteins work. So let's have a little protein here. So we need to know how proteins are formed. So proteins are going to be formed by folding of, you'll see here just in a second, of polypeptides. So basically these polypeptides, they fold and fold and fold and fold and fold, and then you get your protein. Now these polypeptides are formed by links of amino acids. So we have one amino acid here, and we have a second amino acid here. Now right here, we have a link. And what this link happens to be our peptide bond. So exactly what we're talking about, our peptide bond. Now in order to understand how this is formed, we need to understand the structure of amino acid, because this is very important, because this is going to be coming up when we talk about the chemical reaction that's going to take place. So we're going to have a mountaintop backbone with the line off to the side, and this is going to be our amino acid structures backbone, okay? And we're going to have an OH here. We're going to have a double-lined oxygen, and what this is going to create, this is going to be our carboxylic acid, okay? And right up top, we're going to have our R group, also known as our side chain, okay? See, very simple, very basic. And we're going to have an H2N, also known as our amino group. And right over here, we're going to have our alpha carbon, little symbol for alpha, so alpha carbon. So this is very important, this structure, when I explain the reaction that's going to take place in order to form this peptide bond. So we went ahead and talked about our amino acid structure, because that's really important now when we get down to our reaction that's going to actually form our peptide bond. So this reaction is called the Nucleophilic Addition Elimination reaction. So kind of a tongue twister there. It's a fun reaction though, you'll see. So in this reaction, you're going to need two amino acid structures to understand how this works. So I'm going to draw in two amino acid structures. That's why I went over the amino acid structure. So we're going to get the same basic structure again. So we're going to do our mountaintop backbone with a line off to the side. So we have our OH again, our double-lined oxygen here. That makes up our carboxylic acid. We have our R group again, or side chain. Alpha carbon is there again, and we're going to have our H2N amino group. Let's draw on the other one. Same thing, mountaintop backbone, line off to the right, OH, double line O, carboxylic acid here. We have our R group, or side chain, H2N amino group, carboxylic, or alpha carbon here in the center. So we have our nucleophilic addition elimination reaction, or tongue twister reaction, as you can call it. And so we have our two amino acid structures here. So we need our amino acid structures in order to explain how this reaction is going to go down, to find out how we're going to form our peptide bond. So we're going to do this in steps. Step one, we're going to take our second amino acid, amino group, electron pair, and we're going to bind that with our first amino acid, carbonyl carbon. And it's going to look something like this. So we're going to come over here, and we're binding this over here with our first amino acid, carbonyl carbon. And this is going to create a link. And this is going to be step one. Step two is we're going to form an H2O, also known as water, byproduct. So H2O forms from this reaction, from this bind, or this link. So let's see what that looks like. So we're going to come over here, and we have H2O that's gonna form. So this is going to be step 2. Now, step 3 is our new dipeptide forms. We're gonna form a whole new dipeptide just based on this link that we formed over here. So form our new dipeptide. So you're probably wondering, okay, cool, we formed a new dipeptide. What does that look like? What's the structure of it? And where the heck is our peptide bond? I'm gonna have to show you the structure of that new dipeptide so you understand where the new peptide bond is. So we went ahead and we formed our new dipeptide. Well, what the heck does that look like? Where's our peptide bond? You know, that's the big question that everybody's wondering right now. So let me go ahead and draw that structure out for you. It's pretty basic again. So our backbone is gonna be a double mountaintop, as I like to call these. I just call them mountaintops. And we're gonna have a line here off to the right and a line here off to the left. Right here off to the right, we're gonna have a OH. We're gonna have a double lined oxygen here, and we're going to have another double lined oxygen here. I'm gonna go ahead and put an R group or a side chain here, an R group or a side chain here. We're gonna put a nitrogen in the middle of our 2 mountaintops, as I like to call them. A hydrogen is gonna come off right here, and we're gonna have our H2N amino group here on the left side. Our peptide bond is gonna be right here between the nitrogen and the double lined oxygen. So this is going to be our new peptide bond. And that's how you form a peptide bond. So not only did you learn how a peptide bond formed, we reviewed how a protein is made, we reviewed the structure of amino acid, and we reviewed how polypeptides are formed. Guys, if you love the work I'm doing, show me some love. Show GeeklyEDU some love. Subscribe to our channel. Give me some likes if you want them coming, and watch our other videos. We're gonna have lots of them.